Hello again from Relation Productions. Today we're continuing on with the same sort of deal with me working on restoring this 9-inch Diarco shear that I showed you last time, with tips of how to pull out those oil caps. In a similar way, I'm going to give some ideas that hopefully will be helpful for you and your projects in the future, and I'm going to show you some fixturing ideas that I came up with for when I powder coat the upper portion of the frame for this. And as you can see, this is a big chunk of cast iron that I have here. This is where the blade's going to mount. You can see I've got that masked off. There's where the shear blade is going to mount up to, and this is the portion that raises and lowers on the shear. Now, given the equipment that I have, particularly the oven being just a large toaster oven, there's some difficulty in both powder coating this and, without touching or knocking any of the powder coat off, transferring it to the oven. So what I'm going to do is I made up a couple very simple fixtures to help me with this whole process, which I'm going to show you right now. And I've got this upper portion of the frame already. It's all cleaned up. I've sandblasted it off. I've baked it to bake out the oils, and I've wiped it down. And I have, you can see I've got 4 on both sides Teflon plugs fitted to where the slides go, so I don't get any powder coat in there. So this piece should be all set for powder coating right now. And what I came up with is basically 2 very simple fixtures. First, I have this is just an all-thread rod, which is 5/16 by 18 threads per inch, which is what one of the bolt holes on this frame matches up to. And what I'm going to do, for starters, I'm going to thread this into here, and using this little nifty nut and washer as a hole for mounting to my paint booth, I'm going to hang it from there, and that will give me a good point to hang it by while I'm powder coating it, so I can get all sides, and I can rotate it around, and I can paint the whole thing in one go. And then second, once I get it all powder coated, I need to be able to transfer it to the oven cleanly. So I came up with this other fixture here, which is just I had this nice piece of galvanized, it's a thin sheet metal, and I welded also this 5/16 by 18 threads per inch bolt to the top of it. And once I get done powder coating it, what I'm going to do is going to be like so. I'm going to take it, and holding it by that hanger that I made for powder coating it, simply carefully transfer it by using a little bit of friction and turning it just like so. Actually, that's upside down, but that's the basic idea of what's going to happen. I'm going to do it from the other way, which is going to give me more clearance for actually mounting it. But I'm going to mount it on there like this. Once I get done powder coating it, I can just take it by its hanger and simply turn it, spin it a couple turns onto that bolt that's mounted to the plate. Then take out the hanger bolt, and using this I can pick it up and transfer it easy enough to the oven without bumping it or knocking any of the powder coat off. Anyhow, that's my plan, and now I'm going to show you. We'll see just how well that works. So here it goes. And here you can see we got this all situated in my painting booth. I got my hanger all set up, and this is thread in place. And if I want to rotate it, all I have to do is just grab it like so and just twist the threaded rod just a little bit so I can get full coverage of this. So we're all set to powder coat, and here it goes. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to my friend Jason for supplying the yellow Eastwood powder coat. He provided me with about 2 pounds of this a couple years ago, and I'm still using it. So thank you again. So here we go. So with a complete coat on it, now we'll transfer it to that plate I made up and put it in the oven to bake. And now we should be all set to transfer it to the oven and to bake on the powder coat. And we finally got a flow out on this piece, so I'm going to turn the oven down to 400 degrees and let it cure for another 20 minutes. And after that, it's going to take a while to get cooler still to the point where I can handle it, but you'll see it then a little bit better. And now, after the long time that it took for this part to cool down, I've pulled out the plugs and taken the tape off, and we just have to unscrew it from the fixture, and that's all set then. And it turned out pretty good. There's a few light spots where you can kind of see where the hanger was kind of blocking the flow of the powder. There's a little bit of a spot there and a few light spots underneath I can touch up with some paint. But overall it turned out very well, especially considering what a bulky and cumbersome object that is to powder coat. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed watching. Maybe you got some ideas for future projects of your own. Always appreciate it if you like this video, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll try to keep the videos coming on a regular basis. Also, if you look on my main channels page, I've got a link to my Instagram account, which I tend to keep updated a little more frequently in this channel. I try to post miscellaneous pictures and other projects that I've worked on and give you an idea just the different stuff I do in between these videos too. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time.